Hi, this is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast, where CEOs, CMOs, and communications experts share their real advice. It's 6 questions under 9 minutes because we get to it real fast. So let's get to it. Welcome today's guest, please, in a few short sentences. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, Anna. So great to be here. I am Dr. Kristin Kahle from Navigate HCR. We protect American businesses by providing HR and compliance services. So great to be here.
So great to have you. Appreciate you being on today. So, Kristin, please tell me, what is the best thing about being a leader in your industry?
Gosh, it's a great question. Right now, there's a lot of change and a lot of shakeup that's happening. And I love to have the conversations around HR, especially of what's happening, where we need to go, how we need to create other leaders to lead other people. So I love to give education and knowledge, as well as here's the black, here's the white, here's the gray, and here's how you would do this inside of your business. So it's really a pleasure of mine to help everybody in an educational way around HR rules that everybody thinks is so boring. I try to make them fun and sexy, especially fun and sexy, right? Compliance is fun. That's my hashtag. Hashtag compliance is fun.
Maybe we should change it to compliance is sexy.
I love that so much better. It's fun and sexy. How about that?
Great. Love it. Perfect. Very cool. Well, part of it is, like you said, working with businesses and protecting American businesses and leadership and all of that. And that's creating connections. And I hear from other successful executives that creating authentic connections, whether it's your team or customers or partners, can be challenging with all the noise today. I'd love to hear your take on that.
Yeah. Okay. So right now there's all kinds of noise going on that really prevents people from focusing on the true things that need to get done. As an owner and CEO, and this is my third business, so I've been a CEO basically all my life, it's really about keeping people focused. So giving them the goals. So I'd like to say, this is one of my quotes that I used at a meeting on Monday that I think you'll appreciate, is that right now we're at halftime, right? I'm a college athlete. And so halftime is made with adjustments. Games are won or lost with halftime adjustments. So it's all about aligning where you're headed, what happened in the past, putting it in the past, but actually giving your team and people plans to proceed to the next 6 months in order to finish the year strong. So I guess one of my conversations that I have is aligning what's happening right now, blocking out some of that noise, but giving people a clear roadmap about where it is that you want them to go, need them to go, desire them to go, and helping them get across that finish line.
That's a great metaphor. Thanks for sharing that. Wouldn't apply in the one sport I played, track, but that's okay. I can see how it works.
Well, hey, I got a metaphor for you then. It's all about the baton handoff, right? So it's all about making a smooth baton handoff from people to people, keeping them in their swim lane and getting that handoff and getting it hard and fast and getting it across the line. So there you go.
Perfect.
I can always come up with sports metaphors.
I love it. Well, and that's great advice. Do you have any other real advice? Anything else that you think is important to know for other leaders?
Real conversations, right? People really just want to know what's going on. How are they doing? How are they performing? They really want to have a path to either leadership or to success, and they really want clear vision about where they're sitting. And as leaders, it's really our responsibility to give them that, the good and the bad and the ugly, of course, which are always difficult conversations. And as long as you approach that with grace and dignity, that you are talking to another human being and having those conversations with that human being, you will obviously score some points by having those conversations and making sure that they're on the path that you need them to go down.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Well, Kristin, before we get to our fun final question, is there anyone else, any other successful executives such as yourself that you'd like to give a shout out to or think should be on this podcast?
Well, every woman should be on this podcast, of course, right? So I would say that obviously Heather Moyer from HMN Systems, she's great. I know she's probably coming on your podcast here shortly. So hopefully you can't wait to have her on, another fellow Midwestern girl. I claim her in the Midwest pile, even though she really moved out to California. So I would say also to have some accelerators on, right? So inside of our communities that we're in is I'd love to have some accelerators. Jamie Shapiro from Silver Linings Transitions got a great company that's really doing some things, and she's really making some big pivots now in COVID. So it'd be really great to have a conversation around what kind of pivots are happening. I think everybody needs to be talking about pivots, be able to talk about halftime adjustments, and where we are headed to finish really the end of this year. I think everybody really wants to put this year behind us.
Yes. Awesome. Well, our last question is, tell us about your first job.
Gosh, my first job was at a sand volleyball club, which I was a volleyball varsity athlete. And so I played volleyball in Ohio. And so Ohio is not really known for having sand volleyball clubs. So it was imported sand from here in La Jolla, and it was actually called La Jolla Beach Volleyball, which brings me to why I actually transitioned here to California. So I played volleyball, and my best function that I actually had to do was we actually had to put on an MTV event, and I shagged all the balls for the MTV VJs at the time and gave them all the balls to play volleyball with. So that was my first job and my first big event. Certainly has nothing to do with what I do right now, but what it really led me to do is to move to San Diego.
Perfect. Well, there's always some connection, right? So,
always.
Yeah, great. Well, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Before we go, Dr. Kahle, where can people get a hold of you?
So my social media is Dr. Kristin L. Kahle, Kahle, like the vegetable, but not spelled like the vegetable that we all love and not maybe some of us love and some of us hate. I'm not sure. So my Facebook is KristinKahle.com, or my actual website is KristinKahle.com that you can come and see me. And I'd love to connect with anybody that you've got on your podcast.
Fantastic. This is Anna Crowe with the Get Real podcast. Thanks for tuning in. For more insights, visit us at crowepr.com. Make it a great day.